Welcome back. You're listening to the Flow Friday Sports Show right here on Flow FM. And it's Hume netball time, and therefore it is time to bring in our regular correspondent, Aimee Riley, who's been brilliant all season long. She joins me again on the line to tell us about the upcoming semi-finals action this weekend and the elimination finals from across last weekend in what is such an exciting competition. We've got all the grades to talk about with Aimee Riley. Aimee, great to be back with you again. How you doing?
I'm great, thanks, Alice. It's always a pleasure.
Always great to be with you. Well, let's get into the elimination finals chatter from the A-grade side of things last weekend. Firstly, to How Long's game against the Giants. We expected that How Long could mount somewhat of a serious finals campaign, and they're on the path to doing that. 42-28 was the final score in their win over the Giants on the weekend.
Yes, absolutely. A really great win for How Long, and it ends Giants season, but no doubt they were really happy with the game and how it played out, considering the result when they played each other last week before was about a 30-goal average difference. To have a 14-goal difference was a fantastic effort from the Giants girls. Both teams had a really consistent game. It was just How Long's experience and their ability to make the most of opportunities that ultimately ended them with the win. Their strong court went to Lily Smith from How Long, so they moved to playing Sunday this week, and Giants bow out knowing that they've had a great season. They've had a huge amount of improvement. They've got a lot of exciting up-and-comers, and they'll come back stronger next season.
No doubt. Well, looking at the game on Sunday, it was a far closer one between Holbrook and Henty. And with all due respect to Holbrook, it just feels weird to say that Henty's season has finished, because I feel like a lot of people might have had them as their second team this season after their heroics going from where they've came from to having the strong season that they had. 31-35, Holbrook too good though, they will prevail. And they've had a strong season, haven't they? So Holbrook, the side that will join the rest of the cohort in the remaining finals places. How'd you see that game? 35-31, Holbrook beating Henty last Sunday.
Great game, that one. As you mentioned, it certainly was hit to be a great game, and no one was really sure which way it was going to go. Holbrook had a fantastic game. Henty mounted a really late defence, and they certainly were able to keep themselves within the game for the majority of it. They just couldn't quite hang on in the end, and similar to Giants, bow out knowing that they've had some great improvement. The club has been really up and about this season. The success, no doubt, has brought a lot of positivity to the town, and I'm sure, similar to Giants, they will come back stronger next season. Holbrook, fantastic win for them. We have tipped them to be a little bit of the underdogs in finals as well. They are a really, really well-drilled and strong team across the court. So a great game again, two great A-grade games. Best on court for that one went to Maddie Black from Holbrook, and Holbrook will back up again this week.
That they shall. Well, let's go to that fixture first. That's the Sunday game this weekend between How Long and Holbrook in the A-grade. How do you see it going? Who wins this one?
This will be a great game for me. Both teams have shown themselves to be a finals presence in the last few seasons. They've both been really great with their ability to build on the existing team that they've got each year, plus bringing in a few new players and blooding some younger girls. My tip at the moment is How Long. I think their finals experience and their mature heads will get it over the line, but it'll be very, very close for me. And if Holbrook do get up, I won't be surprised.
Well, I'm not going to beat around the bush. The blockbuster game is on tomorrow. It's between the two heavyweights, Jindera and Osborne, in the qualifying final. That is going to be huge. I'm just going to leave it to you because I don't want to get anywhere near making a prediction for this one, Aimee.
I don't really want to make a prediction either, to be honest. Last time these teams met, it was a draw. It was a fantastic game. We've talked about all season how well both of these teams match up across the court. Both extremely skilled and disciplined in the way that they play their game. They have their specific game styles and they figure them so well. Really quick in transition, and they do a great job of making the most of any loose balls and opportunities that come their way. The four-quarter consistency will be a key this weekend. It is going to be quite warm, and keeping that concentration and not having a lapse in their game will be really crucial to whoever gets away with the win. I'm not brave enough to tip it, Alice, but it certainly, no doubt, will have a lot of interesting talking points for next week come out of it.
Yes, no doubt. I don't blame you for sitting on the fence there. I think most would, to be honest. Let's go to the B-grade side of things and the elimination finals on last weekend. We had Osborne beating Henty to 35. And we also had Holbrook getting over the line against the Giants, 42 to 24. Two expected results there, I'd say, Aimee.
Yes, I think the B grade sides this year have done a great job. The top six has been relatively consistent in saying that there has been a couple surprise upsets, but not too many. The Osborne versus Henty game and the 20-goal deficit to Henty. Again, they bow out of finals knowing that they've had a fantastic campaign. Unfortunately, they did have a few injuries late in the season and a couple of girls that weren't able to play finals. So taking nothing away from the fantastic team that Osborne's B grade is, Henty probably weren't at their full strength either. Best on court for that game went to Sarah Schneider from Osborne. And then additionally in the B grade on the Sunday, the Holbrook versus Ramble-Bundry Giants. Holbrook, I expect, will be a serious finals campaign competitor in B grade, not too dissimilar to their A grade. Very well drilled, very skilled across the court, extremely strong, and they will absolutely be able to make the most of any hot weather that comes their way. Giants, again, had a fantastic season, had a really good run, made finals. Unfortunately, they weren't quite able to match Holbrook's tenacity on the Sunday just gone, and just a few unforced errors and probably not capitalising on opportunities that went their way ultimately meant that they finished for the season. Best on court for that game was Millie Walsh from Holbrook.
All right, looking at the upcoming finals action in the B grade on tomorrow, Jindera and Howlong, big game, that one. And then Osborne playing Sunday against Holbrook. Would you expect that Jindera and Osborne both emerge as the victors?
For me, by the time you get to the top four, and particularly in this grade, it is very hard to pick. Jindera and Howlong have both been thereabouts in the B grade for quite a few years now. Jindera have some really experienced heads and some great talent in their team. Howlong additionally have some really, really strong, experienced players, particularly in their shooting and defensive end. And through their midcourt have got some fantastic players like Liv Baker and those likes that have been around the club for a long time and no doubt will be really integral to that game. Another one that I think will be extremely close, and I'm probably not game enough to tip, but no doubt it will go absolutely down to the wire and both teams will want that first grand final spot. Additionally, for the Sunday game that will be on, the Holbrook and Osborne game, that will be an excellent one too. And for me, both teams extremely fit and really well drilled. As we talked about, they've got really strong game plans through both of those clubs that they do very, very well. Another one that will go down to the wire. I wouldn't be surprised if Holbrook get this one for me. Osborne have a bit of a younger team and a bit of a fresh look this year, but again, down to the wire.
Well, Osborne can't be good at every game they play in every grade, and we saw them just fall short in the C grade against the Giants, who beat them 47 to 42 in the elimination final last Saturday. So the Osborne C grade girls, their campaign ends and the Giants go on. How'd you see that game?
A great win for Giants since their A grade and their B grade did unfortunately bow out. So fantastic to see them get one on the board and continue that through. The Giants C grade that I've seen throughout the years have been massive improvers. They're a relatively new side as well, but a lot of knowledge across the court and a few girls coming back into the club that have really made a difference. They've gelled well as a team. Osborne have also been a fantastic team, and unfortunately, as we saw, tight scoreline, but Giants' ability to capitalise just got them across to the day. Best on court, Caitlin Kotzer from Ramble-Bundry Waller.
And in the other game last Sunday, the Henty C grade girls did what the A grade girls couldn't against Holbrook. They beat them 36 to 22, the final score there. So the Henty C grade girls still alive this campaign.
Yes, and not too dissimilar to the Giants as well. A couple of losses in A grade and B grade. So great to see their C grade get up and keep the club season alive. The 36 to 22 goals probably doesn't really reflect on how intense that game was. It was a great game for the whole four quarters with both teams really pushing. Henty will be really, really stoked to get that win. Holbrook, unfortunately, their season comes to an end, but their C grade have had a fantastic season as well. Just, again, the opportunities and that four-quarter effort weren't quite there for them for the entire four quarters, and that left it open for Henty. Henty's best on court for the game was Brianna Bissett.
Okay, looking at the games this weekend in the C grade finals. On tomorrow, Jindera and Howlong going at it. What are the Jindera C grade grade girls like, and should they be good enough to get over how long?
Not too dissimilar to the A grade and B grade, two teams that have battled it out all season. How long's B grade are a force to be reckoned with. They are a great team. They have a lot of knowledge, a lot of skills, and a lot of depth as well. Their ability to rotate off the bench, I have no doubt, will be utilised because they certainly don't have a starting seven. They've got a lot of options that they can use. Jindera is not too dissimilar in that sense. They absolutely have a lot of depth and maturity across their team. That four-quarter effort, like we've talked about with other games, and their ability to capitalise on every opportunity that comes their way will be key to make sure both of these teams give it their best opportunity. For me, I think that How Long may just get over the line, but not too dissimilar to some other games. Wouldn't be surprised if Jindera get there as well.
Okay, in the Sunday game, are the Giants the favourites against Henty?
I certainly think they go in favourite, but Henty have shown a lot of spirit this year, a lot of fight and a lot of improvement. And for me, finals is a different game. Doesn't matter where you finished on the ladder, that intensity and that desire to win sometimes comes into play just as much as any other match day skills. Giants do go in the favourite for me, but I absolutely expect it to be a tough contest.
Okay, looking at C Reserve finally, and last weekend the Jindera C Reserves, very good outing for them against Henty, 31-9 the final score there. They'll be looking forward to really flexing their muscles in the finals campaign. Aimee?
That was a great game for Jindera. Probably started off a bit slowly for both teams. Both shooting ends struggled to settle in and weren't terribly accurate for the start of the game, but really fixed that moving forward for Jindera. They absolutely fired coming into the second quarter and the rest of the game. Henty had a young team and had some really great talent across the court. Jindera have a good combination of some young talent and a lot of depth and maturity as well, which really led the way for them on the day. Ultimately, Henty do bow out, but again, they've made finals in a few turnarounds, so they'll be absolutely stoked with that. And Jindera, who have been a mainstay in finals in the last couple of years for C Reserve, will look to keep their season alive. Best on court was Madison Alabon from Jindera.
In the other elimination final game in the C Reserve, we had a closer one between Holbrook and the Giants, but the Giants were too good. 31-26 the final score.
They were another great close final, which we love to see. 5 points being the difference, which across the whole game is a couple of turnovers. So it's excellent to see these high final contests. Holbrook did a great job with being able to get there in the season. They've had a bit of movement in terms of their whole squad coming into this season, and Giants will be absolutely stoked again to be able to keep their season alive with their A grade and B grade finishing up. They really did a good job with the four quarters, the Giants, and whatever the rotation was, they settled really well and stuck to their game plan. So I know they will be absolutely stoked with that win. The best on court was Caitlin Left from Ramble Bundry Waller.
Now, in the semi-finals for the C Reserves, we again have Osborne and Jindera on opposite sides of the finals draw. Let's go to the game tomorrow first. Osborne and How Long in the C Reserves. What's your prediction?
How Long has been fantastic in C Reserve, again, in the last couple of years, have been there and about. Osborne C Reserve have been a formidable force, and they are a step above everyone else throughout the season. Again, finals are a different story, but for me at the moment, it's Osborne.
Okay, the other game, Jindera C Reserves up against the Giants on Sunday. Which way is that one going to go?
This will be a tight contest for me. It will absolutely go down to the wire. Giants and Jindera both have a lot of depth that they're able to utilise, and as we talked about, it will be warm, so that four-quarter intent, the utilisation of the rolling subs will be really important. Keep fresh legs going and keep teams revitalised. Accuracy in the circle and making sure that our goals are dropping will be imperative for both teams when you are in those tight contests. That can often make a difference. For me, at the moment, Jindera might have the upper edge, but I expect it will be a very, very close game.
Okay, well, that is a wrap of all things Hume netball across all the senior grades. Great to catch up with you again, Aimee. Enjoy the finals, please, because there's going to be so much of it, and you just will be really absorbed with all the games on this weekend. Thanks so much, and we'll speak to you again next week, Aimee Riley.
Thanks, Alice. I look forward to catching up.